What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. I checked out a Chinese film on Netflix called Us and Them. And this isn't a film that I would normally check out, but I recently watched an Oscar-nominated foreign film contender called Better Days, and it starred the really talented Chinese actress Zhou Dongyu. And I wanted to watch more films that she was in. Turns out that she's in this film, this Netflix film, Us and Them. And it got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, that's only based on 6 reviews, okay? And all 6 of these critics liked it. So, automatically 100%. That's how Rotten Tomatoes work. Anyways, I really wanted to check it out. And I can't say that this is a romance drama. I think it's more of a drama about people. It's a relationship genre. I don't want to call it a romance drama because it's not necessarily about a romance where two people, the objective is for two people to fall in love, get together, and all that. It's much more than that, and so that's why I don't want to group it there. But there is romance in it. There's comedy in it. I don't necessarily want to call it a romance comedy. It's simply a relationship genre. Now, what is this about? Okay. In the tradition of Chinese New Year, people who work in the city, they travel back home to their shangsha. What that means is it's their old hometown where they were brought up. Okay, they get on a train or fly or drive, whatever. They go back to the shangsha, which is kind of like their village, to see their family, and then they celebrate Chinese New Year. If you don't already know, Chinese New Year is the biggest holiday in China, and everything shuts down. Like, all the stores shut down, all the restaurants shut down, everybody just travels, okay? And it's celebrated over the course of 2 weekends. Specifically, I think 8 or 9 days, okay? And it's just a big celebration of feasting, getting together with family, and it's just a really, really happy time. So one of the things that happens that's a pretty big deal is that when the sons or daughters go home, one of the things that they always deal with is the family, and by family I mean aunties and uncles, asking them, "Hey, are you married yet? Or where's your boyfriend? Where's your girlfriend? All right, why are you single?" And it's such a social problem in China that boys and girls, or rather young men and women, they actually rent boyfriends or they actually rent girlfriends, and it's actually a big business because they don't want to show up to a Chinese New Year feast alone without a partner. Okay, that's not what this movie's about. However, something does happen. Okay, so 2 characters. One is played by Zhou Dongyu. Her name is Xiao Xiao. Okay, and then there's actor Boren Jing. He plays Jian Qing. Okay, so they meet on a train. Okay, now the reason why Jian Qing, the male character, is going home is to see his family to feast on Chinese New Year. On the other hand, Xiao Xiao, played by Zhao Dongyu, she's just going back home to her shangsha, her village, but she actually has nobody there. She's got nobody to celebrate. She just wants to have a reason to get away from the city. So she goes back and she kind of spends it alone, right? I mean, she spends Chinese New Year alone. But Jian Qing wasn't having it. They became friends on the train ride, became really good friends, and then he invited her to the family dinner, and then it goes from there. They start becoming friends. Now, what she's looking for in a boyfriend is somebody who makes good money, can provide her with a big house, very stable job. That's what she wants. That's very typical of a Chinese girl. Okay, that's what their needs are. They want to be taken care of. That's what the parents want for their kid, their daughter, to be taken care of. Okay, so that's what she wants for herself, to be taken care of. Now, with Jian Qing's character, he cannot provide any of that. So they remain friends. They will always stay friends just because he cannot provide any of that, because he's kind of like a loser. I don't want to say he's a loser per se, but he just doesn't have many ambitions, okay? However, after some circumstances, they fall in love, okay? But it turns out to be a very rocky relationship because he still, no matter what, cannot provide her what she wants. So where does it go from there? That's where the fun begins. Well, not the fun begins because it's not a very it's not a very fun and happy time because they're always they're essentially they're going in two different directions, and we see all of that. That's what this film is about. Okay, so like I said, it's not a romance film. It's about two people who are going in two different directions trying to make it work, and it's not easy. Okay, you know what I really liked about this film is that I resonated with both characters, and because I've had relationships that didn't work, so it makes me think about my exes. So that's why I enjoyed this film in that sense, because it just the I guess the thought process of both characters really reminds me of how me and my ex were, right? And that's why I connect with these characters. I think it's a very realistic take on this type of situation. Now, this is a good film. I cannot give it a high score because I really don't like the character of Jian Qing. I think he's a loser. Okay, he's written that way, but I feel like there's something really. I won't say that's unrealistic. There's something very undesirable in this film, and that is, why does she keep on staying with him? Why is she written that way? And upon doing some research, I did find out that this is the way a lot of couples are in China. It's so hard for them to leave a relationship. I mean, this might be for a lot of people, not just Chinese people, but in China, it's just so hard to just go apart from each other because they just get back together because they're comfortable, and the girl always wants the same thing, and so that's why I feel like, the way these characters are doesn't, I don't buy it. Like it doesn't work for me. Like, why are they written this way? Maybe it's because I want something happy to come out of this. But at the end of the day, they know they're not right for each other. So why is this constantly going? So what I got out of this is that it's just a very repetitive, vicious cycle that we see throughout this movie. This 2-hour running time, it's a repetitive cycle, and I get a little, I won't say bored of it, but I'm tired of them finding ways to get back to together with each other, and that's where I have a problem with this film. Besides that, it's well directed, it's well acted. I just think that there's some questionable decisions in the writing process with these characters. Now the thing is that it's a highly praised film simply because that apparently is the way it is in China. Okay, so I think a lot of people actually see a lot of realism in how these characters are, and how the characters are actually they're just a very unique characters. Zhou Dongyu does such a great job playing that girl. Jian Qing Boran Jing plays a very good role with that part, with the male role. He's such an undesirable, and he does such a great job with that. But why are they together? I don't get it. Why do they need to stay together? It doesn't make any sense at all to me. But I still like watching them. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense either. Anyways, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I do like the fact that, I love the cultural aspects about this film. I love the fact that the fact that they gotta travel back home to China to see their family in Chinese New Year. I like there's a lot of wholesome aspects about this film, like these traditional cultural aspects that really they touch your heart. So yeah, those are things that I really like about this film. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, 7 out of 10. Still good, still enjoyable, but I think you are going to be yelling at the TV on certain scenes about like, oh, you dumbass, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? It just means that you're invested in the characters. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.